AB is similar to triangle DAC. That's what that squiggly means. It means similar. Determine if the statements are true or false. When figures are similar, their angles are, Bailey, the only one who knows? Congruent, and their sides are proportional. Very good. So you're going to write number 1, true or false. Number 2, true or false. Number 3, true or false. Number 4, true or false. You will see a question like this tomorrow. It'll be multiple choice. You'll have to pick the one that's false, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. You may get out your phone and turn off the music. Yes. Chris, what'd you get on number 1? What? You're not done with number 1 yet? I killed a lot of time plugging in those tablets. I thought y'all would be done. AE is to ED as AB is to BC. Which one did you do? Chris? Number 1 is not false. It's true. Number 1 is true. So AE is the whole, and ED is the partial side. Whole is to partial as. AB is the whole, and BC is the partial. So I've said a lot of times by now, I said that we don't use partial sides in proportions. We don't do it. Because a lot of you don't understand when you can use it and when you can't use it. So we just try to avoid it at all costs because there are times when you can't. But if you're consistent and you put the whole is to the partial as the whole is to the partial, and that side equals that side, then you're okay. You are okay. So that one is true because we were consistent. Now, if that said whole is to partial as whole is to whole, then we would say false. But that one is consistent. This side is to this side as this side is to that side. So number 1 is true. Hubble, number 2.
True.
True. Why do we know that EB is parallel to DC?
Because angle B and angle C are congruent.
Very good answer. So we know if our figures are similar, the corresponding angles are congruent. That's just part of the definition. We think about last semester when we learned about parallel lines and transversal, we had all those vocab words. Alternate interior, same side exterior, corresponding. These are corresponding angles. We learned if the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines have to be parallel. They have no choice. They're locked in. So very good. Parallel. True. Good answer. Rodney, number 3.
False.
Very good. Were you like, we haven't had a false yet. Maybe it should be false. No, it's okay. AB is to BC, so it's starting off just like number 1 did, as EB is to DC. That one is false, because that's saying the whole is to the part as EB. That's the whole side. DC, that's a whole side. You can't say whole is to part as whole is to whole. That doesn't work. So that's why number 3 is absolutely false. Very good. Try, last one. Are we going to even it out, or is true going to win? It's true. Angle AEB is congruent to angle ADC. So you're looking at that middle letter if you're having trouble finding the angles. Here's angle AEB and here's angle ADC. Do those go together? Do those correspond? They do, so they have to be congruent. That's definition of similar. All right, let's check those homework answers. And I will go over the ones we need to go over. The title was Geometric Mean. Looks like this. It was a front and there was no back. Hansel, what do you dress up for? Geography? Oh, okay.
Prim looks like that.
Yeah.
Prim. Neat. And tidy.
Oh my goodness.
That's both of them.
Who's got questions?
Number 5.
All right.
Hey.
I'll do one more. I'll do 5 and something else.
Just 11.
Number 11 doesn't have any pluses. That's okay. You don't want to do 12 or 13?
Wait, number just 4.
Did you use 40 and 15 in proportion? Because you have to subtract and use 40 and 10.
Just do the one that you think you might have to.
I think 12 would be a good one to do. Thank you for your permission. No, I can also do 11, but we did do one kind of like that in class where it had an XYZ. Who needs more time with the answers? You have one? What?
I need more time.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sean.
The equation for geometric mean as A over X and B dot is equal to X over B.
That's not the equation. That's the definition of a geometric mean. The two proportions are on the board. See the board? Those are the proportions we used. We might have said seg 1 and seg 2 instead of long seg, short seg, but it's the same thing.
Is this going to be on test now?
Uh-huh. If we learned it, it has to be represented on the test. But don't worry, we're going to do a couple, and you're going to be like, oh, that's so easy. Ready? Number 5. I'm going to do number 5. Number 5. Now, so when do we know it's a geometric mean problem? We know it's a geometric mean problem when we've got a right triangle. That's step 1. It's got to be a right triangle. And then not only does it have to be a right triangle, but you also have to draw the altitude. Ooh, that was a weird right angle, sorry. The altitude drawn from the 90-degree angle. So that's how you know it is for sure a geometric mean problem. Which one was I drawing? Number 5. Okay. This is 21. This is 4. This is X. You were given 2 different proportions. So half the battle is just choosing which proportion do I need. Am I looking for an altitude or a leg? X. Is X an altitude or a leg? It's a leg. So I'm going to choose the proportion where leg is the geometric mean, not the one where altitude is the geometric mean, because that's not going to do me any good. So the proportion that you're going to memorize tonight, hypotenuse is to leg as leg is to adjacent seg. And honestly, guys, instead of memorizing that proportion, if you do this whole worksheet, you will memorize the proportion because you'll do it so many times in a row. So you don't have to memorize it. I would just do the problems over and over, and you'll be like, oh, I got this. So I'm going to set it up. How long is the hypotenuse? 25. Very good. It's neither of those. It's not 21. It's not 4. It's the whole segment. The whole thing. 25. Is to X as X is to which segment is adjacent to X? 25 or 4? 4. You choose the one that's closest, that's next door. Adjacent means next to. 25 times 4 is 100. Square root of 100 is 10. So if you're actually doing the math, you say x squared equals 100. You take the square root of 100. You throw out the negative one because a geometric mean answer can't be negative, and you get 10. Some of you, and I've said this multiple times, some of you are going to stare at this problem and you're going to go straight to, oh, square root of 25 times 4. Because that's how I solve it. If you can solve it without setting up a proportion, good for you. Do it that way. Okay, now let's do number 12. Once again, we've got a right triangle with the altitude drawn. This is one where you can't just say, oh, square root of the product. You can't. This one you actually do have to set up a proportion because we've got addition involved. When there's addition involved, we have to set up a proportion. Okay. Which proportion are we going to use? Are we looking for an altitude or a leg? We are looking for a leg. Look, altitude, there's nothing there. There's no x there. Nope. But the leg, there is something there. Look, the leg does have something. So, we're going to follow our proportion. I'm going to look over there. Hypotenuse goes first. How long is the hypotenuse of the whole triangle? 12. Switch colors. 12 is to, how long is the leg? X plus 3 as, x plus 3 is to the adjacent segment. Okay, now let's cross multiply. 12 times x. 12x. X plus 3 times x plus 3. X squared. Minus 6x. Nope, plus 6x. Plus 9. You have to FOIL. You have to FOIL, you have to FOIL, you have to FOIL. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Alright, how do I solve this? Yeah! Subtract 12x from both sides. So we've got 0 equals x squared. There's the minus 6x I was trying to get. Okay, sound good? 6 minus 12 is negative 6. Is that okay? Things that multiply to get 9. 3 and 3, or 9 and 1. Which one's going to make a 6 out of? A 3 and a 3 or a 9 and a 1? A 3 and a 3. Okay. Negative? Both negative? Yep. So there's only one answer. What's the answer? 3. That's called a double root. You'll learn more about that next year. You get 3. You get the answer 3 twice. It's like the answer's 3 and 3. Answer's 3. Okay. Oh, because how do you get a negative 6? Negative 3 plus negative 3. How do you get a positive 9? A negative times a negative is a positive. If you made one positive and one negative, they would cancel out. The plus 3 and the minus 3. Okay. Let's move on. Do you want me to do one more?
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. Let's do a simple one so y'all don't freak out. Let's do number 8. Because we haven't done one where you're looking for an altitude yet. Number 8. X, 144, 25. I want you to see one closer to the one you're going to see on your test. I'm not going to give you one where you have to factor on your test, like the last one. So it might be like this. So some of you are going to stare at that and be like, oh, the answer is square root of 25 times 144. And that's awesome. Or you can use your proportion, which says the altitude is the geometric mean between the segments of the hypotenuse. I don't care where you put the segments. Put one of them here, put the other one here. They're already broken up into segments, so you didn't have to do any work. So 144 times 25, and then take the square root of that. It's not always a pretty number. If it's not a pretty number, the test will tell you what to round to. Is this one pretty?
Yeah, 60.
Nice. Good? You can put your homework, no it's not. You can put your homework away.
Really little.
Yeah,
It's like hard stuff.
Number 1. Go. 2 triangles are similar if, or not even triangles, figures. 2 figures are similar if. I've asked you this a bazillion times.
Oh.
First one, very good.
Oh, we're just raising it. We have to run up.
Yes. 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 Ah, that doesn't say enough. Yes. Yes. Yep. 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 That doesn't say enough. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're going to stop here. Very good. Almost everyone got it. Angles are congruent and sides are proportional. Very good. All right, what about scale factor?
about it?
Yeah, what about it? What do you think goes here? What did I teach you? Don't say it out loud. Yep, 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 yep.
Sorry, that my handwriting.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let me give you one. Yep. Second over first is what I taught you. Let me give you one. Here's a triangle. Here's a triangle. Find the scale factor.
730.
Hey!
7/3.
Yes, 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 yes.
I was going
Okay, let me give you a harder one. Okay, okay.
Hey, look, Hannah.
fine.
It's a banana.
Oh, come on.
So, someone enlarged a photograph and they used a scale factor of 1.5 inches equals 3 feet.
Oh, God. How many inches in a feet?
12.
That's 30.
Scale factor. Give me the scale factor. Scale factors don't have units. So it's not in feet, it's not in inches, it's in no units.
Is that right?
No. I don't. Oh, yes, Alyssa, yours is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. No, simplify it. Yes, yes. Don't put inches. Doesn't have units. Nope.
1.5 inches.
Nope. Simplify it. Arsham, what'd you get? You're doodling. Stop doodling. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Yes.
36 divided by 1.5.
Good.
I just put.
See how it says units must match. When you're doing a proportion, units don't have to match. Yeah. But when you're doing scale factor, your units do have to match. How many inches are in a foot? 12. 3 times 12. So there's our new one where our units match. Now we're going to do second over first. That is not a reduced answer. So you ask your calculator. 36 divided by 1.5. The scale factor is 24. So I enlarged my picture 24 times. Multiplied it by 24. All the dimensions of it. All right. Solve for x. Sorry. Yes, yes, yes. No, those are all wrong. I'm so sorry. Those are all wrong.
Oh, wait.
Chai was the first one. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Don't get it wrong tomorrow.
Thanks, Ty.
Yes, no, yes.
Is it surrounding multiples of 4?
Only half of it?
Is it?
No, yes.
There you go. I don't understand the puzzle.
That's wrong.
Okay. So, how do you solve for x? You cross multiply. X squared equals
64.
64. When you have a squared, like, okay, when you factor something, how many answers do you normally get?
2.
So you always get 2 answers. We're not factoring, we're square rooting, but since it's an x squared, we should have 2 answers. We should. So you take the square root of both sides, and x equals plus or minus 8. Because you know what? 8 squared is 64. What else squared is 64? Negative 8 is a solution. If you take negative 8 and you square it, you will get 64. It is a solution. So if you don't put plus or minus, you're leaving out half of the answers. Okay? Yeah. So don't do it.
Oh, no.
See, no me.
No, it's a factoring problem. That's one of them. Very good. No? It's on your test tomorrow. I'm giving you test problems. Yes. One of those is negative. You're missing one of your answers. Yes. Yes. Other way around. Other way around. The negatives.
That's a
Yes.
long
Other way around. Other way around. Yes. Yes. So when you cross multiply, you get 30 equals x squared minus 3x plus 2. Then you subtract 30 from both sides because you realize, oh man, I have to factor. So x squared minus 3x minus 28 is where you should have stopped. That's when you go to your parentheses. Things that multiply to get 28. 4 and 7. So I want to have a negative 3. So do I want my 4 to be negative or my 7 to be negative? 7 to be negative. X minus 7, x plus 3. Keep in mind, this equals 0. So you ask yourself, what number would force this to equal 0?
Isn't it 4?
Oh, sorry. Why did I say 3? What number would force this to equal 0?
7.
7. 7 minus 7 is 0. You take the opposite. X is 7. What number would force this to equal 0? Negative 4. You need to go home and review factoring, then go home and review factoring. Because it's not going anywhere, especially not next year. We sprinkle it in geometry so that you won't get to Algebra 2 and just be totally lost. Okay. The ratio between the circumference of two circles is 3 to 5. Find the area of the smaller circle if the area of the larger is 150. Oh, sorry.
Wait, don't you subtract?
I'm ready now. Yes, try. No, 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 yes, no. No, no, no. 2 people know it. Nope. Nope. No. I taught you nothing. Yes. 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 Yes, Zoe. Good. All right. 3 is to 5 as x is to 150. A lot of you got that far. Okay? But you got to be so careful. What is circumference? 1D. It's a length. It is a length. Even though it's circular, it's still 1D. What about area? 2D. Your ratios are fighting. They're in a fight. One of them saying 1D and one of them saying 2D. You cannot cross multiply ratios that are fighting. What do you want your answer to be in? 1D or 2D? 2D. You want your answer to be 2D. So everybody agrees to disagree on 2D. How do I make this column 2D? You know what to do. You square it. You know this. You've done this before. So when you cross multiply, you do 9 times 150 divided by 25.
I meant to do divided by 25. That was supposed to be 25.
Okay, so then your final answer is 54 is what you should have gotten. We don't have any units, so you don't have to put units on this one problem because I don't have any units on this one problem. Okay, next one. Can you read that one better? does have units, so please include units in your answer. Yay, very good, Katie. Bigger than that. But your setup is very good, so you must have put something in your calculator wrong. Very good. Yep, you got it. Thank you for putting units. Yes. Bigger than that. You need to cube those. No. But your numbers look right. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. 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 Did you figure it out? Be careful tomorrow. Yep. Huh. Very good. See, all y'all needed was a reminder. 2 of those numbers are wrong for some reason. Look at your calculator. Yes, very good. Hopefully that's how you started it. And then very simple process to make them agree. What do? Cube them. Cube. So it is 4 to the third. 64? 64 times 3,375 divided by 125. Final answer, 1,728 cubic inches. Cubic inches. Or inches cubed. That'll work. Okay, next problem.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Are these all test problems?
There are similar to test problems. Get it? Similarity unit. Similar. The answers will be ugly. You are not allowed to answer them with decimals. Don't do it.
It's not fun, miss.
Don't do it. Just trying to guide you in the right direction. I know. In the real world, sometimes answers are ugly. They're not always pretty. No, you don't, because then it's not exact anymore, Drew. Don't you want to be exact?
No.
Yes. If lots of money is depending on you being exact, then you will be exact. First one, Sean, very good. Try X again, Y is correct. Try X again, Y is correct. No, try both again. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. You cannot answer that way. You can't. That will be wrong on the test. Yes, try X again.
You said yes?
I did, very good. It is always a struggle on these problems figuring out what goes together. So what I recommend you do is first put an arc on your vertical angles, but more important than that, that's not that important, alternate interior angles. I would put an arc, double arc here, and a double arc here, so that I know, does X go with 7 or does X go with 8? Because a lot of you messed that up. So, what is 8 across from? Double arc.
Yeah.
What else is across from the double arc? X. X goes with 8. 7 goes with 9. And Y goes with 13. If you need to circle and underline and box, then use circle, underline, and box so that you know what goes together. So I would say 9 is to 7, underline is to underline as circle is to circle. I'm doing second over first, just to make sure I don't flip-flop them. 9 is to 7 as box is to box. And then you cross multiply. And you get, what do you get for X?
72 over 7.
72 sevenths. And what do you get for Y?
117.
117 sevenths. Can you write that any other way? You can write it as a mixed fraction, but please don't. Okay. You'll have to make me think while I'm grading. I don't want to think while I'm grading. Oh, sorry. I wasn't ready. Yeah, I just haven't done. It's not a mid-segment. So I don't think X can be 18. It's not a mid-segment. 4 doesn't equal 12. So X can't be 18, but let me figure out what it is. Okay. Try Y again. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some A's on tomorrow's test.
Hopefully.
Try again. Yes. Got it. Yeah. Very good. What was that first number? It's hard to see with all that stuff on the board. That is one of them. That is not one. No, wasn't 16.
Time to leave this now.
Chai, are you saying you want to leave my class?
No.
Always make
Yes. Yes.
my voice take her 15.
What?
Isn't it Y plus 5?
Yeah.
I want to show you when it works and when it doesn't. Remember how I said you don't use partial sides and proportions? Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You can use partial sides as long as you use it twice in a row. So to solve for y, you could totally do, and I wouldn't do 12 is to 4, but anyways, 12 is to 4 as y is to 5. That actually does work if some of you were wondering, because you're putting a whole over a partial and a whole over a partial. So if you like that, it does work. But how did I teach it to you? I didn't teach it to you that way. I taught you 12 is to the whole. 12 is to the whole as y is to the whole. Guess what? Both get you the same answer of 15. This and this both get you 15. Now for x, are there two ways? No, there are not. No, there are not. Because x is not a partial and 9 is not a partial. So whole over whole is your only option. What were you asking, Marsham?
I just want to say there's a third way for solve for y.
Okay.
It's 12 over 9 and y over 12 for x.
Oh, if you've already solved for x? What's if you've already solved for x? I never use answers I found to find other ones, because what if you found it wrong? Then you're double jeopardizing yourself. No, I don't use it. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, 12 is to 16 as 9 is to x is the only way to solve for x, and x is 12. So it's a geometric mean. Get it? 12 and 12 and 9 and 16. Once we learn that lesson, you start seeing them all over the place.
Is the altitude thing going to be on the...
Yes. There will be one very simple problem about it on the test, okay?
What is it?
Easier than you think. You should be done by now.
What different what total?
W? Oh. No, it's not. It's, no. Like your answer is W? You're starting here, and it's not drawn to scale, so don't freak out. You're starting there, and that red triangle is where you should start. You've got some arcs staring at you. Use them. Use the arcs. You get it now.
I see what you're trying to do here.
No. Yes, I knew you were going to get it.
First one.
First one, Drew. Second one, Hannah. Guys. Third one, Zoe. Good job, Sean. Shane. I know. Sean Shane gets me every time. It's not a fraction. Don't. Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
You can't laugh at someone else if you don't have an answer. Yes, very good.
Okay, that was a distance.
Oh, I got it.
Is everyone okay with me putting 10 there?
Yeah.
Because it's a nice isosceles triangle and the legs are across from the congruency marks.
Okay.
And then honestly, what I did was 5 doubled is 10, 3 doubled is 6. But if you want to set up a proportion, then set up a proportion. 3 is to 5 as x is to 10. Or 3 is to 8 as x is to x plus 10.
Is that our problem?
10 is x plus 5 is 2.
That's our problem?